there and welcome along to Upping the Ante, the Racing Post Cheltenham Countdown. I'm David Jennings from the Racing Post and I'm delighted to be joined by our Cheltenham guru himself, Mr. Gavin Lynch. How are you?
Good, Dave, how are you?
Very, very good, and we had a very informative weekend of racing and plenty of Cheltenham clues on offer. But before we get stuck into them, we have a question that was sent in for Gavin, and it is: what has been your most successful race or races at the Cheltenham Festival from a punting point of view, and what do you fancy for that race or those races this season?
I just had a look through the stats there this morning, and there's actually 4 races at Cheltenham that are good for punters. One is the Mayor's Novice Hurdle. It's only been run twice, but Limini and Let's Dance have been 2 winning favourites. The second race that's good for punters is the JLT. It's only ran 7 times, and 5 of the 7 winners have more or less gone off favourite or second favourite.
Okay.
Also, you have the Arkle Chase. If you look through the winners of the last number of years, you have, say, Ante or Du Van Under. So, Western Warhorse was a bit of a
don't mention the war.
I know,
literally, do not mention the war.
I like Champagne Fever.
Sure, we all did, yeah, absolutely. But sure, he wins. If you just tilt your head a little bit further to the left, he actually wins. Yeah.
You had Simon Sig, Sprinter Sacrifice in Europe. So that's a good race for punters too. And the last one is the Mayor's Hurdle. If Annie Power didn't fall again, we should mention the war. But it would have been 8 winning favourites in a row if she had stayed up. So that's a good race for punters too.
She fell, did she?
She did the last.
Yeah, I think she fell. Yeah. And from your own personal point of view, if you had just had to pick one race that you'd say, this is the race I've made the most money on, what would it be?
I'd say probably the JLT.
Right. Okay.
This year it depends on the ground. I'll wait and see if there's any give in the ground. If there's give in the ground, I'll back Debt Duty.
Debt Duty at Cheltenham?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. We have a man who has kept the faith in Debt Duty. So there you go. That's the Cheltenham races that Gavin Lynch here has made most money on, and let's hope that continues next March. So moving on to our weekend review, and there's only one place to start, Gavin, of course, and that is with Sizen John. He made a flawless return to action, obviously, in the John Durkan. Is he your idea of the Cheltenham Gold Cup winner at the moment, and would you back him now?
He ran a cracker. He showed that he's back to his best. He's, say, 4 to 1. He deserves to be favoured for the Gold Cup, having won it last year, obviously. One thing to note from last year, was having a look at his record this morning, is that he's an iron horse, because last winter he ran at Christmas. 3 weeks later he won the Kinloch Bray. 3 weeks later he won the Hennessy Gold Cup. He only had a 4-week break to Cheltenham, then a 5-week break to Punchestown, so he's a tough nut to crack. I think that if he can get 4 to 1 maybe next month, non-run or no bet each way, he's absolutely guaranteed to be in the first 3. The 2 dangers to me obviously are Mike Bite, who we'll see how he gets on with King George, and York Hill is he's the classiest horse in the race. If it was 2 miles 6, he'd be a clear favourite. The big question is he going to stay? Maybe he won't. One thing that's going to be interesting at Christmas is that Paul Townend has only ridden York Hill once. That was an entry, and if you remember,
I do.
They didn't get on too well together that day, so it'll be interesting to see if he settles for Paul at Christmas.
And at the moment, with our sponsors 188bet, Sizen John is 4 to 1. Are you saying take that 4 to 1 now, or are you saying wait?
I'd say wait, because I'd love to see if Jessica did a great job in not running the horse at Haydock. I would love to see for the horse's chance for Cheltenham not running at Christmas in either the King George or the Lexus. Okay. I think if it doesn't run there, because that's only 2 weeks, say tomorrow or the next day, I think then it'll improve his chances for Cheltenham.
Okie dokes. Now we had big Arkle clues at the weekend. Sco Royal was absolutely brilliant in the Henry VIII Novices Chase at Sandown. So would you back Sco Royal, or would you back Footpad? Would you rather back Footpad for the Arkle, for the Racing Post sponsored Arkle, might I add?
I think of 2 great chances. Sco Royal was super on Saturday. Your favourite horse in training, Brain Power, did what Brain Power does, but Sco Royal's jumping was just electric. He was so fast over them. He was brilliant. Personally, I prefer Footpad, who again was foot perfect in Navan. The 2 of them are high-class hurdlers. It's interesting, normally what's the best recipe for an Arkle is a horse that has been a novice hurdler last year.
Yes. That
came from the Supreme and on to the Arkle. Whereas this year, all the ones in the top of the market have all had 2 runs, 2 seasons over hurdles. Footpad, So Royal and so on, they've all run champion hurdles, which normally is not a good recipe, but...
And are you giving up on Brain Power?
I just wouldn't be its biggest fan. I think at the top level it was found out in the champion hurdle last year. It's won good handicaps, but I'd probably be against it, yeah. And you're not giving up, are you?
What did you make of the Right David Mullins game?
You're going to crib it anyway.
Oh, don't get me started. I just couldn't understand it. He had the perfect lead from North Hill Harvey. Sit on his tail, get a lovely lead into the race. No, up his inside. He out-jumped him at 1 fence. Away he goes again up the inside. I think Brain Power is obviously not straightforward, but I think he is a better horse than he showed. I would say if David had the ride again, and he's an excellent jockey, obviously he's won a Grand National, I think he'd do things completely differently. I think 16 to 1, which he's out to now, might look very big come.
So you're not giving up?
No, I'm not giving up, no. Loyalty is my worst trait, Gavin. Yeah.
Good.
All my ex-girlfriends will tell you that. And there's only one. Okay, number 3 is Black Line Grand National winner in waiting, or could he actually become a Cheltenham Gold Cup contender? Are we just kind of, putting him in that category as a Grand National contender? Could he come into the Gold Cup picture?
I don't think so. He won an RSA, he beat Shane Hill that day. That form wouldn't be top class. He's rated 153 when he won on Saturday, so he's going to be into the low 160s, we'll say. I couldn't have him for the Gold Cup. He's 33 to 1 there at the moment. He's 12 to 1 for the A3 National. Last year he took it up way too far out, but he's going to have more weight this year, so I'd leave him alone.
And it was brilliant to watch, wasn't it, on Saturday?
Yeah, there's nothing like watching the entry fences.
Yeah, but obviously we're focusing on Cheltenham, so we don't want to know what's going to win the Grand National. We want to know what's going to win at Cheltenham. And moving on to number 4, it is Undersow the most underrated horse in training? Are we giving him the credit he deserves? Can he win another Ryanair? Could he possibly win a Queen Mother Champion Chase?
I'd say that it all depends on Duvan. Obviously, if Duvan is in good form, I know he didn't run last week, but the vibes are still good that he should reappear at Christmas. And if Duvan goes to the Queen Mother, obviously Undersow will definitely go for the Ryanair. Last year I looked at the video this morning and he actually pretty much bolted up in the Ryanair.
Yes, he did.
He was 5 lengths clear at the last. He tied up on the run in to win by a length and a half. I think he's rated 167, so the handicapper doesn't underestimate him, but I think he's 5 to 1 for the Ryanair, which looks a big price.
I'm going to make a statement now, and you're probably going to tell me I'm wrong. On soft ground or on heavy ground, like it was on Sunday, I think he is unbeatable over 2 miles. Be it hurdles or fences, be it a flat race. I think 2 miles, soft to heavy ground, there is nothing that would beat Undersow over fences, hurdles, or on the flat. Am I wrong?
So you think he'd beat Faheen, Altior and Duvan?
I think he could, yeah. On that bottomless ground, I think he could. I think he's able to sustain an incredible gallop on that ground and keep going. Yeah, I think he could. I really do think he could.
He's an amazing horse. Yeah.
It will never happen, obviously, but
yeah, he won over 2 mile 5 in O'Tyon soft heavy ground as well. So he'll stay.
Just think, I remember a few years ago winning it in Avon by like the length of the home straight in the 3-runner race before Christmas. But anyway, that's Undersow. So certainly there'll be hope and connections. The O'Connell family will be hoping that we have a wet spring, comes up soft at Cheltenham. And the final question, and this is the one that most people are going to be interested in. Give us one or more horses who caught your eye, maybe under the radar over the weekend, that you will definitely be backing next time.
There's 3 that caught my eye over the last
3
few days.
Okay, we're getting 3.
Yeah, Moulin Avant was an eye catcher in Navan when I was third. Yeah,
one of my guilty pleasures, yeah.
I think that'll win a beginner's chase over the Christmas.
Okay, so that's Moulin Avant, trained by Noel Meade. Third to the very, very impressive performance, I thought, by Invitation Only.
Yeah, well, Invitation Only beats any second now by a similar distance to Monolea, and still he's 16 and 20 to 1 for Cheltenham. The second horse to keep an eye out over the Christmas is Sassy Diva. 2 mile. She ran the other day in a 2.5 mile mare's maiden hurdle. Didn't stay. Came there at the second last at the last evening, was there, and then just tied up in the running. But 2 miles mare's maiden hurdle over the Christmas, Sassy Diva will win. Okay,
so number 2 is Sassy Diva in a 2 mile mare's maiden hurdle, and number 3.
And number 3 is Impact Factor. Jessica Harrington. It was our first run for her. It was second to Get a Bird yesterday. I think Get a Bird is the real deal. I think Get a Bird, I was half tempted to tip him up for the Ballymore.
Yes.
But it seems sacrilege to go against Sam Crow at the moment. But I think that where Impact Factor runs the next, it should win maiden hurdle. Yeah.
Okay, so let's have a good, we love our hypothetical questions. If Sam Crow and Get a Bird both turn up in the Delight.
Well, actually, no, they might meet in a month's time in Naas. You know, the grade 1 over 2.5.
Yes, absolutely. In the Lawlers Hotel Novice Hurdle at Naas on the first Sunday in January. Yeah. The two of them meet. Sam Crow is 8 to 15 and Get a Bird is 9 to 4. Who do you back?
It depends if you could get an each way price in the day. Let's say
no.
runners.
No.
I was just going to say I'd back Get a Bird each way at 3 to 1 if I was getting it on the day.
Yeah, but you won't.
I won't. Okay.
So just answer the question.
I don't back horse at 8 to 15.
Okay, but you would fancy Sam Crow?
Probably, but I think Get a Bird will really put up to him. I think he's class.
Okay.
And Willie said yesterday he'd come on a lot for the run.
Yes, he looked very green. Yes, okay. So we kind of got the answer out of there, yeah. So moving on to Cheltenham, and last week Gavin started his anti-post portfolio with 2 selections. He gave a Spur de Len for the Triumph Hurdle and his the love of his life, Cause of Causes, in the Glenfarclas Cross Country Chase. So we're going to get 2 more from you today, Gavin. So your first anti-post selection, what are we into now? We're just over a fortnight from Christmas, so there's still value out there.
Yeah, I was looking at 2 weeks to Christmas Day and 13 weeks to Cheltenham. But I think what punters should do is go and open an account with 188 bet, because they're going a very good price on footpad for the Arkle as the first tip.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. What price?
It's generally 4-1, but 188 bet are 5-1, so I think that's good value.
So their standout price on footpad?
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go. 188 bet, 5-1 footpad. Tell us why people should be opening up 188 bet accounts and should be back in footpad at 5-1.
For example, Brain Power can win the Arkle.
Is he not running?
And North Hill Harvey, it doesn't look good enough. I think So Royal is a big danger, but footpad second in the Irish Champion Hurdle, fourth in the Champion Hurdle itself, had a rating over hurdles 157, which is good. His jumping in Navan was foot perfect. Willie seemed very, very impressed afterwards. I think it'll win the Racing Post Novice Chase on Stevens Day in Leopardstown, because it seems the vibes are that Petit Mouchoir might make that race. So if it wins there, wins impressive, it'll be half the price.
You think so?
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
Could be
5-1
5-2.
is good value.
Okay, that's interesting. Wouldn't be for me now, but I can see your logic, but it wouldn't be for me. That's why you're the successful punter with the fancy suit jacket.
Says your man.
And I'm not. Okay, your second selection.
Second selection is Cracking Smart for the Albert Bartlett.
Oh, yes.
It was generally 10 or 12-1. Again, 188 better, going a good price, they're going 12-1. It's only had 4 runs. It was an eye catcher first time out. Then it won a bumper on good healing ground by 13 lengths. It came and beat Shady Operator very snug over 2.5. But the last day in Cork, in a graded hurdle, it beat Robin de Ferre and Fabulous Saga by 8.5 lengths, with another almost 5 lengths back to Fabulous Saga. That went bolted up yesterday. I just think that
70
form,
lengths?
yeah, so wouldn't take that at face value because the ground was atrocious yesterday. But I just think that could be good form, and I think Cracking Smart. I think the danger could be next destination, maybe Willie Mullins's, and there's possibly a chance they could meet even next Sunday in Navan. But I think Cracking Smart at 12-1 is a cracking bet.
12-1 with 188 bet. I see what you did there.
Cracking, yeah.
Yeah, nice bit of cracking. So there you go. Gavin's 2 anti-post selections a fortnight before Christmas are Cracking Smart for the Albert Bartlett, and your first one was Footpad for the
at 5-1,
for the Arkle at 5-1. Both very good prices with 188 bet. Shaping up to be a good Cheltenham festival for the Irish again, Gavin.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
We've 4 winners now, according to you. We've only had 4 bets. There we go. My advice would be don't give up on Brain Power. Please don't give up on Brain Power. Don't listen to Gavin. Listen to me. Brain Power can still win the Arkle. He's 16-1 now. Have a bit of that. Gavin Lynch, thank you very much. You've been watching another episode of Upping the Ante in association with 188 Bet. I've been David Jennings. Thanks for joining.